In TNA's efforts to beef up mainstream visibility prior to debuting on Spike TV this fall, TNA is negotiating a DVD deal with Walmart. The deal would lead to DVDs of recent pay-per-views being sold in many of the major retail outlets chain of stores. Bill Banks of TNAWrestling.com says TNA will distribute combination packs of recent pay-per-views, including Victory Road, Turning Point, Lockdown, to place several hours of pay-per-view footage into one low-price offering. Currently, WWE has penetrated the DVD wrestling market at Walmart, the most exclusive club for distributing products to a wide consumer base, and TNA's efforts to achieve the same mainstream deal will allow the company to establish its product and compete head-to-head with WWE for purchases. So getting shelf space on Walmart's a pretty big deal.
I don't think kids these days, right? They don't know how, important the DVD market was.
Yeah, or even just that idea of shelf space. Just the idea of, you walk into Walmart and you look at the shelves, and that's where, somebody can just discover TNA. Because, there's a wrestling...
That's how I did it!
Yeah, there's just the wrestling section, and you see the WWE DVDs, and you're like, wait a minute, what's this? Other wrestling?
I walked into my local game store, I looked up at the hentai section, and in the hentai section was TNA. Which is 100% true.
It is very risque.
It was in the rated R DVD section in the corner of the store. There was TNA, which means every time I wanted to go look at the wrestling DVDs, I had to go into the hentai section of the store.
Yeah, dude is like, that guy keeps walking over to the hentai section. It's really weird. He's a creep.
And then I'm pulling down Jeff Jarrett, King of the Mountain, 2-disc set, and he's like, oh my god, even worse.
He just swings a guitar at your head.
Just pick up Bible Black. What are you doing?
Because of the legal threats from WWE, TNA had to do new voiceovers for its DVD releases that will be going into Walmart for all matches involving the former Michael Shane and Outlaw.
Joutlaw.
They should have went with Joutlaw instead of Kip James. So all the DVD releases will have the names Matt Bentley and Kip James.
They should have just done best of WWE jumps.
Just to get at them.
Yeah.
It's just D-Lo, and it's Raven, and it's Rhino. We just had Rhino.
And the Joutlaw.
And the Joutlaw. So if you ever listen to one of those old TNA DVDs, I guess, you will see they actually redubbed the commentary for the entire match. They didn't just redo the names, they recalled the matches.
That's interesting.
Which makes it feel a lot less organic.
No, yeah, it's like when you go back and... I imagine they did the thing where, they stick to the kayfabe of it being, from that show specifically.
Yeah.
Which is, one of the most annoying things in the world is when commentators can't settle on which side they want to be if they're, doing it with... they're doing it, for historical context, or if they're calling it as if they were there in the building. Because, so you go back and you listen to some of, the New Japan World stuff from, the 90s... And, they, half and half call it with both. And you're like, it's so, aggravating.
Pick a lane.
Exactly. Honestly, I would prefer, if the bit was, here we are, it's Kevin Kelly, Chris Charlton, in the 1996 G1 Finals.
We're going to call this like it's live.
Yeah, exactly. And it's oh, he's coming over near us. That would I could approve that. That rules.
Conan is supportive of the new TNA booking committee that replaced Dusty Rhodes because the group is more in tune with today's wrestling environment.
Well, thank God Conan's in support.
I just love this shit where it's Conan just talking about how booking is going. We'll have some more Conan business about how he may not be entirely happy with some other parts of the booking committee. But
great.
Conan said during an interview with the Monday Mayhem show that the current booking committee is more focused on developing angles and storylines that serve the fans and aren't made to amuse themselves, as was the case with Dusty Rhodes, Dutch Mantel, and Jeff Jarrett.
I like that Conan is just confident enough to be yeah, fuck Jeff Jarrett.
We'll get to more of that in a moment.
Yeah!
On the storyline involving 3 Live Crew, BG James and Kip James, Conan said it was one of the better angles going on in TNA right now. Even though it's been going on a bit too long, he expects that once TNA gets back on TV, there will be a real payoff. On the recently released WWE wrestlers, Conan said he is willing to welcome anybody who can contribute positively to the promotion. So why Kip James is there, who knows?
Why BG James is there? Who knows?
He didn't say that. I'm editorializing it.
Oh, yeah. You gotta make that clear for everyone.
It would be very funny. It's I really don't know why we
The
signed
guy
him.
that
I
I'm
know.
in a feud with.
Yes. Monty Brown has not signed a long-term deal with TNA. He's using wrestling agent Barry Bloom to represent him in negotiations. Bloom, who currently represents
Boom.
all about the boom.
It's all about the bloom.
Bloom, who currently represents Mick Foley and Kevin Nash, and in the past has represented Bill Goldberg, Sean Waltman, Steve Austin, Chyna, Chris Jericho, and Triple H, among others in WWE negotiations, is working closely with TNA to put together a fair deal for Brown. TNA wants to keep Brown in the company as one of the centerpieces of the promotion, but if Brown does not receive a fair contract offer, he will most likely seek employment from WWE. Friends of Brown, though, say he would prefer to remain with TNA for the long haul. And because Bloom has worked with Jericho, there is some suspicion that Jericho may end up working with TNA, because this is where Jericho was gone for a while.
So I'm learning about Barry Bloom.
He's basically like the wrestling super agent. He's been managing wrestlers for a very, very long time. And I imagine most wrestling companies hate his guts. Well, not hate his guts, but it's like fucking Barry Bloom again.
I found like a very weird website, which I shouldn't be on. I don't have any security.
Barry Bloom is hacking your computer.
Ah, no, Barry Bloom's running into the mainframe.
No, he's actually going to get you some very good gigs.
Oh, that worked out well.
He really negotiated you a better deal for You've Got to Be Kidding Me.
I don't know if I can get a better deal.
But yeah, Monty is, if you were like wondering, like, they should have put the belt on him in January, but if you're wondering why his booking is a little like, he's not doing much right now, that's because he may have one foot out the door. Doesn't in the end, but he might.
He's gonna leave at any moment.
He could.